Homophone. What is homophone? Homophones are words which are similar in sound but different in spelling and in meaning. Homo means same and phone means sound. Here are its examples: bridal and bridle. Bridal is an adjective which means related to a bride or a wedding. Example: Jenny and her friends are preparing for the bridal shower of their boss. While bridle is a verb which means to check or control. Example: you must learn how to bridle your emotions or else you will often get upset. Broach and brooch. Broach is a verb which means to open up or to bring up. Example: if you would not broach your concern in our emergency meeting, it will not be addressed. On the other hand, brooch is a noun which means an ornament held by a pin that is worn near the neck. Example: the brooch on my co-teacher's collar was gifted by her thoughtful advisory class. Complacent and complacent. Complacent is an adjective which means self-satisfied or unconcerned. Example: don't be complacent in your training if you want to win the championship. While complacent is also an adjective which means wanting to please others. Example: Riza would rather lose her job than be complacent to her superiors. Counsel and counsel. Counsel is a noun which means club or organization. Example: the student council will conduct their Clean and Green campaign next week. On the other hand, counsel means advice. Example: teenagers should listen to the wise counsel of their parents if they want to have a brighter future. Discreet and discrete. Discreet is an adjective which means silent or unnoticeable. Example: we must be discreet about our financial status to avoid others' envy and belittling. While discreet is also an adjective which means distinct. Example: supermarket has several discrete sections. Elicit and illicit. Elicit is a verb which means to draw out or evoke. Example: wanting to elicit a lot of different responses from her students, Mrs. Villanueva asked a series of questions. On the other hand, illicit is an adjective which means illegal or unlawful. Example: because of their illicit activities, John and Mike were imprisoned. Gait and gait. Gait is a noun which means a person's manner of walking. Example: Jesse was perceived as arrogant by his classmates because of his gait. While gate is a noun which means an opening or entrance in a house, building, or fence. Example: their gate is made of steel. High and high. High is a verb which means to go quickly. Example: if you want to be healthy, you need to hie away from your bad habits. On the other hand, high is an adjective which means great degree or value. Example: Janice is studying hard because she doesn't want to fail the high expectation of her parents. Gem and gem. Gem is a noun which means a sweet spread made by boiling fruit and sugar to a thick consistency. Example: this is strawberry jam was bought by my older sibling last month. While gem is a noun which means a side post or surface of a doorway or window. Example: my father is having a hard time removing the termite-infested door jamb. LAIN and LAIN. LAIN is a verb which means the past participle of lay. Example: Peter has lain his newly harvested spinach on the wooden dining table. On the other hand, LAIN is a noun which means a narrow way or track. Example: my aged uncle fell in line at the priority lane. Loose and loose. Loose is an adjective which means not tight-fitting or not firmly fixed. Example: your loose shirt makes you look cool, relaxed, and attractive. While lose is a verb which means to fail to keep control. Example: do not lose your poise during the interview. Stay formal and composed. Main and main. Main is an adjective which means primary or chief. Example: chicken is the main ingredient of tinola. On the other hand, mane is a noun which means a long heavy hair on a person's head. Example: most of my buddies love my thick mane. PAIL and PAIL. PAIL is a noun which means a cylindrical container with handle typically used for holding or storing water. Example: our pail can hold 4 gallons of water. While pale is an adjective which means light in color. Example: after seeing the syringe, my nephew's face turned as pale as a sheet. Rack and rack. Rack is a noun which means a framework, usually with bars and rails used for holding or storing things. Example: this wooden shoe rack cost 850 pesos. On the other hand, rack is a verb which means to completely destroy or ruin. Example: we must not allow the ambition of others to wreck our progressive and beautiful barangay. Wrapped and wrapped. Wrapped is an adjective which means engrossed or glued. Example: we were so wrapped by the spectacular performances of Julian San Jose in her concert last year. While wrapped is a verb which means covered. Example: my practical sister wrapped the Christmas gifts using Manila paper. Thank you for watching.